Welcome back to another Semen Retention Sunday episode here on the Regal Change account. I identify in this meat suit as Thaddeus, and today we're going to talk about how on your semen retention journey, there's going to be a point in which you are an immovable frequency. You are not having an immovable frequency, you are the immovable frequency. Your vibration is going to be, instead of a window, it's going to be a door, basically, where you can have people tune in or they don't need to. And a lot of people, when they hear the term frequency or vibration, they kind of think that it's all woo-woo. And I understand that because I was once this way as well. But then you start thinking about what Wi-Fi is. And you think to yourself, well, and Bluetooth, right? And you're thinking to yourself, well, if this can happen in the material world, what would make the spiritual realm so different? What would exactly it take for us to see that our brain is actually an electromagnetic satellite and our nervous system, which I call the solar timeline interface, is actually a way in which we communicate with light through ourselves. Like, that's what the solar timeline interface is. And the more calm our solar timeline interface, the better our experience of life is going to be. And we're going to manifest certain things. And when I say manifest, I mean probabilistically actualize something into existence, because you can't focus on confirming things in the third dimension and expect certain things to happen. And it's just not going to work, because you're working on a different plane of consciousness at that point. Well, that's the idea, right? But semen retention allows you to calm your solar timeline interface. And I've known much about the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system for quite some time. The parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for the digestion and rest part of your solar timeline interface, and the sympathetic is responsible for the fight or flight. Now, when you sun gaze, combined with semen retention, combined with learning about these quantum physics things, combined with learning about just experiencing the body as the body, right? Like, just treat it as curriculum, treat it as a education process, because that's exactly what it is. It is indeed an educative process. And there's so many different things that you can integrate and learn how to integrate by just communicating with the body and really accepting what the body is trying to tell you at certain points in time. Because it sounds kind of cliche, but listening to your body is going to be the best thing for you. And especially on semen retention, it's like you just have this natural way of moving through the world that maybe you don't even understand. And you don't even understand why certain things are going to happen or are happening, and yet it all works out. Like, you whenever you're updating your thought algorithms, the physical plane is going to try to counteract that update. And partly because we're living in the matrix, in the simulation, and then other times it's because there's actually, like, evil entities out there, you could say. Evil and good exist on one plane of consciousness, like, well, multiple planes of consciousness, and they could exist in the higher planes, but they're dissolved. They're dissolved at a certain point, because once you're operating inwardly from a place of timelessness and you're moving on timelines that move into timelessness, there's really no need for, ooh, that's good, that's evil, this is righteous, that's sin. Like, when you're still naming things, man, and you're trying to keep something static in a world and an evolutionary process that is always changing. Like, we're always changing. I'm sure you've heard the saying that change is the only thing constant. That's very true. And that is the only constant. So why are you trying to grasp onto things all the time or push certain things away when you could just be with it? And semen retention teaches you how to deal with this. It teaches you, there's layers to it though. So for example, I'm going to tell you a story. This was one of the craziest things that's happened to me for quite some time. So for those of you that are Regal Change old timers, you'll know recently I've been talking about how I am invisible to scarcity and scarcity is invisible to me. We've also talked about this in the Regal Academy a little bit. And I've been talking about this. I've been, changing this thought algorithm because it's a big thought algorithm for me. Me personally, I never thought that I could be invisible to scarcity. And it's not to say that I'm not going to acknowledge that there's scarcity in the world. But with me, that like my frequency, my thought algorithm is I want my frequency to be so immovable, right? To be so unscarce. It's just naturally grounded in abundance that no matter who comes into my frequency, their scarcity is not going to even play a factor because my frequency is just emanating with so much radiance of abundance. That's what I want, right? And so I've been changing this thought algorithm, and yesterday was a fucking crazy day, man. It was absolutely crazy. I had to go to 3 stores to try to find what I was looking for. And I just kept trusting the process. And, after the second time of not being able to find what I needed, I was like, okay, I'm getting a little frustrated here. But I just noticed the frustration and, I had that, energy, even though I was still frustrated. And so I went to the 3rd store, I got what I needed. I came back and I also had to go grocery shopping. So I went grocery shopping and I got this bottle of hot sauce at the store. And when I came home, I was, putting away groceries and all that. And I freaking dropped the hot sauce. And the hot sauce bottle just, it went everywhere, man. It went everywhere. It went under the fridge. It went, over by the oven. Like, it was just crazy. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what is going on today? And I started to get kind of frustrated. And then I was like, okay, no. Just observe this. Just observe this. Give up anger and just observe it. Because sometimes on semen retention, especially, you'll notice your emotions are like heightened, right? And you might feel like, well, maybe they're not really heightened. They're just actually what you're supposed to be doing and feeling. Like instead of being a depleted coomer, you're actually just feeling things, right? So anyway, I dropped the hot sauce. I cleaned it up, and then as soon as I cleaned up the hot sauce, my cupboard just fell. Like, and things, nothing broke, but my cupboard just like collapsed on itself. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And so I cleaned that up and I reorganized everything. And instead of being frustrated about why these things were happening, I was just thinking to myself, okay, I'm just going to take this as an opportunity to reorganize. Because I kind of guess I do need to reorganize everything anyway. So I just did that. And I was just, in the back of my mind though, there was that like, no, this is something that needs to be fixed. This is something that needs to be fixed. So anyway, I do my work for the day. I have a session and I go do other things and I work on other things. And after I make dinner, my phone charger isn't working. And I've just recorded videos and such. And so my phone chargers, my phone is, it's probably going to die. And I noticed that my first instinct was, oh, I need to go to the store. And I was like, wait, whoa. I don't need to go to the store. It's not going to be the end of the world if somebody can't reach me for the next 12 to 24 hours. It's not going to be the end of the world. And so I just let that go. I just let that thought go. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to paint. Like, screw it. I'm just going to paint. Because I need to have that creative flow right now. Like, I just need to create something. I'm just going to ignore what's going on, and I'm just going to focus on what I want to create. And so I did. And sure enough, after I painted for like 2 or 3 hours, I went to see how to organize my books. Because I've got more books. Like, you'll see the books here. I've got more books down there. And so I was reorganizing my books, and you guess what I found? How the does that happen, man? I don't even know where this came from. I have no clue where this phone charger came from. But I was reorganizing my books and I found it underneath some books. I have no clue where it came from. That crap just manifested, bro. Like that was that was crazy. I have no idea where that came from. Because I don't really buy chargers. Like I don't buy chargers unless I have to, for my phone and such. I don't have like an extra charger really. So where the did that come from? I have no clue. But I genuinely think that it was just because of my natural groundedness. Like, okay, I'm going to be trusting in the unseen assistance that this thing is going to manifest. And it fucking did. So there's a case study for you to, now you can believe me, or you can just think I'm psychotic. Who knows, right? Maybe it's a bit of both. But nonetheless, that was a crazy thing. But what did I do? Look at the actions that I took despite the events that were taking place throughout the whole day. Because I kept ignoring quote unquote reality. I kept ignoring what was happening that was seemingly just a hindrance. And I genuinely think that all those things that happened yesterday were because it was like the Matrix and the soul of existence simultaneously were testing me to see, are you really invisible to scarcity? Is scarcity really invisible to you? And it was just fantastic. I mean, it was a great exercise, and it was a great thing to happen. But look at the symbols of what happened as well, right? So I had to go to 3 stores to find what I was looking for. And it was beef fat, because I was going to make beef tallow, right? And because it's, number one, it's healthier for you to have beef tallow, and rather than like seed oils. I don't do seed oils, and the testosterone is usually going to be better with with good fats and such, and just life. I just feel better. It's not even about the testosterone or anything. It's just I feel better. And so then after that, it was the hot sauce. So like the vessel, the fiery vessel, gets destroyed and depleted, and then the resources from the cupboard, my food, my all of these canned goods and such have to be reorganized. Okay, so there's a reorganization of resources going on. And then finally, the phone charger, like it was almost as if the soul of existence was saying, look, are you going to, if you're unplugged from the world, can you really generate your own energy? That's kind of what it seemed like to me. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying that's what it kind of seemed like. And then all of a sudden, when I was proving to myself, just by inner conviction, my immovable frequency, just trusting the process, trusting the soul of existence, bada bing, bada boom, I got a new charger. I still have no idea where it came from, man. I have no idea where it came from. And it was under books, which is another interesting symbol. It's like under knowledge. Because the books that it was under, actually, yeah, that's actually, what exact book was it under? It was either under, can't make this stuff up. It was either under my book of Synchronicities by Carl Jung, or Kierkegaard's Fear and Trembling, the Sickness Unto Death. So this is what happens, man. This is the kind of stuff that happens. Like when you just have inner conviction and you trust the process on semen retention, you use the discipline of semen retention as a way to see a catalyst for other things that make to make stuff happen, great things start to happen. And isn't that a beauty? Isn't that amazing? This is just the tip of the iceberg, it feels like, because I've had a lot of interesting things happen, but I've never really had a phone charger just pop out of the freaking ether. Like, I'm amazed at whatever, just like what that was. But also, when it happened, I had the so energy. I wasn't super ecstatic. I was ecstatic, but I wasn't. I was just thinking about the term ecstatic, thinking about the epistemological or etymological, term of that, not epistemological. The etymology of the word ecstatic. What is the etymology? Ecstatic root word. It's Greek for trance. So I was like in a trance, right? I was definitely in a trance, especially with the creative flow of the process when it comes to creation and painting. Like, it just puts you in that creative flow, right? And so just focusing on creation, like, what does this tell us about the ways in which the truth works but not reality? Well, when you focus on what's true and what you can create, that you're going to create a new timeline. And so not only did I create a timeline and a symbolic narrative field in which scarcity is no longer visible, I also created a symbolic narrative field where I don't have to be rushed to do things, because sometimes being rushed to do things is part of scarcity. However, creating a sense of urgency to do certain things is going to be very important for you. So think about all of these things and how you can apply your discipline part of your lifestyle and your frequency to other parts and aspects of your life, using semen retention as a catalyst, because you kind of forget that you're even on semen retention after a while. Like, you forget that you're on semen retention, and you just are at a higher frequency. You are there. And sometimes, like yesterday for me, that was basically a miracle. Did I manifest a miracle? I have no idea. I don't think I did it, right? I don't think I did it. I think it was just the soul of existence moving through me, because the world moves around you. The soul of existence moves through you. That's the main idea here. So with all that being said, I hope that this message was useful and insightful for you. I hope everybody stays blessed. And yeah, what a wild ride, man. It's a beautiful day. So I'm going to go out and get some sun gazing in again, because, I sun gaze as much as I can, as often as I can. And I really like it first thing in the morning, and I really like it like later at night. So I'm going to go out and get some sun gazing in, and maybe some sunbathing too. Yeah, I'm probably going to definitely get some sunbathing in. But anyways, peace be with you all. Until next time.